Good day, podcast community. PK here, podcast Pete, and certified high performance coach. What happens when you put two icons together? Well, you create a third model like Elon Musk. Bold statement requires me to educate and help you on that journey. Okay, stay with me for 30 minutes. And you will have a gift that will unleash your future because it's a gift of $300 value because you're looking at one of the icons on the screen, Brenda Bouchard, who wrote High Performance Habits. High Performance Habits. He's all over the internet. He is an icon. He has a community of several 100,000 people called Growth Day. And he trains me, coaches me, pushes me, challenges me every day. He certified me as a high-performance coach. And I get to have him pour into me every day. That's why I can be bold enough to say two icons, because it's just one of the icons. Wait until I tell you about the second icon in just a second. So clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. They're the high performance habits. You master those, you have the foundation to a rocket to Mars. Because when we're talking about creating Elon Musk, we're talking about a rocket to Mars. And when you have the fuel, which Brenda Bouchard provides, now, he's one of the icons. I'm going to give you two of the icons. Hold on here, Nelly. All right. The other icon is Daniel Priestley, who wrote the book, Key Person of Influence. Why is he an icon? Well, if you're not listening and seeing what's going on out here, he's built 8 from scratch businesses. Just Google him. Buy his book like I did. Bought all 5 of his books, have 4 of Brendan's books, and I listen to them all the time. Thousands of hours. Thousands. Because if you're going to make a bold statement like that, and you're going to deliver a brighter future, which we're about to see with what Elon Musk is doing with his companies, and I say companies. A lot of people that I talk to think he has one company. Nope, many more. And that's the opportunity for you. When you combine Brenda Bouchard, let me see if I can go back to him. So I want to give you a visual. High performance habits, and you have somebody that charges $1 million to work with him one-on-one, he's earned it. And if you can leverage that and be a part of Growth Day, and $50 a month, I get him talking to me every day. I get the 5 to thrive. I get him anywhere from 8 to maybe sometimes 15 minutes, giving me a framework, giving me the coaching that he's been doing for 20 plus years. He's worked with the elite, the best of the best, because people that have the resources will get the best, and they get him. I don't have $1 million a year to invest in one-on-one coaching, but I can get him for $50 a month. He can leverage his coaching over hundreds of thousands of people. And when you leverage in business, like Elon's doing, like Daniel Priestley's doing, like Brendan's doing, you got a brighter future. And the future is bright when you understand leverage with the right people. So let me just give you a little bit of information so you can kind of see if this is for you. Maybe it isn't. I'm going to give you a gift. Some will accept it. Some will think, that's not. Some won't believe it. And that's true with anything. You have to accept it. activate it, apply it, and if you do, the future is bright. And if you're not sure, Brenda Bouchard, search him. Just search him. I got exposed to Growth Day 2 years ago. I heard him speak in San Francisco 12 years in LA on a project, video project, getting testimonies for her clients. She invited me up to San Francisco to hear this person I'd never heard of before. And for one weekend, he was the only one that did the seminar. The only one. Nobody else. How do you talk for several days? I think it was 2, Saturday, Sunday, and hold the attention of every single person in there if you're not delivering such incredible value? Well, as my dyslexia and ADD go, I call it a firestorm was going on in my brain. Too many things going on, not knowing how to channel that. When you can't channel some of your gifts, they can come back to bite you in the butt. And they did. That's a story for another day. But here's what happened. I was on the Ed Milet show, listening to Ed Milet talk, both of them in separate times, but he mentioned the word Growth Day. Thought that was a cool thing because I had seen him 12 years ago. So I searched it. I found it. I got it. I tried it for the 7 days, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing and what I was hearing. For $50, I get all this challenges. I get all these people. I thought something was wrong, but it wasn't. I was going through a transformation. I was seeing how valuable that information was to me, how it helped me transform, helped me grow. Then I invested another investment in myself, $500 for the year. And it opened up a treasure chest of information, personal development. And I just, again, floored. And I started thinking, man, what if I could provide this kind of support for my community of podcasters? What if I could pour in and they could become like I've been transforming? And so I stepped up another time. I got to be a certified high-performance coach. 5-figure investment, nothing to sneeze at, but it was worth every penny and 10 times that. So I became a certified high-performance coach. Then when I was going back to, I had been coaching along, transforming, and I went through another certification so I could continue to improve. And I met a gentleman named Mark Matthews, who was getting his PhD at the time in human psychology or something to do with behavior. And after I got back, I had signed up for another session. And I said, man, I would like to get this guy as my coach. So I called the people from that I met at the certification. They said, absolutely, if it's your money, we'll do it. So they credited me back what I had already paid. And I called up Mark. And I said to Mark, will you coach me? He goes, I'm full, thanks. But I said, look, I get up early, 3:30. I'll do it anytime. And he said, okay, what about 7 o'clock on Monday? I said, I'll take it. And that started a 6-month coaching transformation. 6 months. Now, I ran out of money. Still owe Mark. He's going to get it. But I was getting such crazy results. I wanted to continue until I didn't have any more money. So anyway, that's he got. I mean, it's incredible what he did for me, and that's what hooked me completely as a certified high performance coach. I got coached, I changed, I transformed, and now I'm pouring into the community. Done over 400 podcasts, 1,000 videos, and I'm just warming up. Just warming up. I haven't even started. So the future is bright. Now, let me go to Daniel Priestley. So about 6 months in, oops, it's a classic book. So I'm going through this crazy transformation, and I'm loving every minute of it. And I'm getting coached. I stumble on a podcast that I had, Christian Dorr, and he mentioned an assessment. And I've been hearing about Daniel. I'd listened to a few of his videos. And as I had Christian on my show and bought his book and, just had an absolutely incredible podcast, I asked him, how do you want people to reach out to you? And he said, my newsletter, and I have an assessment. I said, oh, really? Okay. So we did it. And after that, I thought, I've heard of this assessment. And it was. And I took it. I went, holy mackerel, I like this. So I started incorporating not only the Score app into my community, I started listening to, I bought every one of his books, all 5. I've listened to thousands of hours of Daniel Priestley. I know him like the back of my hand. I have gone on to take an assessment. I couldn't afford it at the time, but I'm getting better. And I'm going to do Dent. I'm going to do Brendan's Ultra, but you have to keep leveling up. You keep learning, you keep growing, you keep getting better. You keep investing in yourself, not just buying it and putting it on the shelf like a lot of people will do. Buy it and apply it. Buy it and apply possible. But you got to activate it, apply it. So, I study him like I never studied before and wasn't a good student anyway. So let's say it's the school of hard knocks that I'm investing in. So put these two together. And that's what we're doing. And my partner, Jeff Bourgeois, who you got to search him, Borschowa. Get his AI agency. Get his program. My team in the Philippines, which he started with Trexa 2.5 years ago, is AI trained by Jeff. You got to use AI in your business. It's not the end all to be all, but it's a very powerful tool that if you leverage with AI, the future is bright for you. So we implement it every 5:30 every Monday. I'm getting with my team, with Trexa and Rolando. We get around there 2 peas in a pod. But my highlight of my week is Monday morning at 5:30 in the morning. That's when I'm working with Trexa and Rolando. We're strategizing for the week, the month, and the quarter. And that's the advantage of what Daniel talks about, building a team. There's no such thing as a solo entrepreneur. Don't think that you can do it by yourself. It's a team entrepreneur concept. AI is part of your team. People have to be part of the team if you want to grow and scale and create a concept like Elon's creating with all his companies. Wow. If you truly understand what's going on and you lean into it, like you lean into Bitcoin, like you lean into Tesla, and you understand the future, that's when you know the future is bright for you. But if you are distracted, if you're consuming TikTok videos and mush and turning your brain into mush, and just consuming a bunch of mindless stuff, you'll never get there. Matter of fact, your brain's going to be rewired to mush. I've been there. When I got off Adderall, my brain was mush, but I rewired it. I trained it. I worked on it. And there's a whole story for another day. But when you lean in to Daniel Priestley and Brenda Bouchard, you have what amounts to the most powerful two people together. Because Brendan will give you marketing, he'll give you motivation, he'll give you the framework, give you the fuel to your rocket. Daniel Priestley will do the same, but he's going to focus more about your strategy online. Because if I meet you, let's say I run into you in the grocery store and you ask me about my two-color shoes or my shirt or something, and we talk and we have a great conversation, and I ask you about yourself, and we're just have a good conversation for a minute or two, and I ask you for your card, and you give it to me, what am I going to do? I'm going to search you. I'm going to look you up. I'm going to see, was it a one and done, just a good conversation, or are you going to allow me to go on a journey with you? Because if you allow me to lean into your content, your podcast, your story, your workshop, your book, whatever it is, you allow me to go on that journey with you. And I challenge you to just search me, Became Podcasting, and just go on a journey. See if you know, if you want to know, like, and trust me. There's no secret about my information online. It's wide open, and it gives you a chance to get to know me, go on a journey. When you do that, and you built up the trust online because you've gotten 7 hours and 11 buying signals, and you've seen me on 4 different platforms, the brain just goes click, know, like, and trust. And that's the opportunity, because it never changes. When you look at Dale Carnegie's book, Like You and Trust You, that's part of the core of his essence, but it's changed because the internet's now. When he wrote this book, there wasn't an internet. When he wrote this book, there was no AI. There's no the innovation that we're seeing before us right now. We're seeing the world transform. And you can either jump on the train and ride this path to abundant future, to a brighter future, or you can get run over by it. And if you run over by it, you're the people that wondered what happened, because it changed and you had no idea, because you didn't pursue it. You didn't find out more about it. You didn't check into Bitcoin. You didn't check into Tesla. You had no idea who Brenda Bouchard was or Daniel Priestley. And right over your head, the world changed, and you're sitting there wondering. You don't want to be in that camp. That's the camp of regret. You want to be in a camp that keeps on growing, keeps on learning, and allows you to a brighter future, because the future is bright. And part of my transformation was right around journaling. See, I'm dyslexic, ADD with that. I flunked English in high school, 2 failed attempts at Virginia Tech. So academics was never my thing. But I was a self-learner, learned from the streets of hard knocks. But when I had my stroke, I had 49 days to think. 49 days to think. And I started the habit of journaling. What I discovered was my secret, my superpower that was there, but I never knew it was. So I'm writing. I've written 20 journals. 20. I didn't write more than 2, and they're all discombobulated because whenever I got into hard times, I always heard, "Hey, write a what is it? Gratification journal or grateful, whatever." You know what I'm saying? And there's no silver bullet. You can't like 2 days of writing something and think that it's going to transform you. It takes time. So over these 3 years, I've been journaling every single day, twice, sometimes 3 times during the day. Instead of watching TV, instead of going on social media, instead of drinking, instead of these distractions that usually take us down a path of consumption, I'm writing. I'm writing. I'm writing out my day. I'm writing out what I learned. I'm writing out my ideas. I'm constantly writing. To a person that couldn't spell his way out of a wet paper bag, now it's flowing. It's flowing because I'm clear. I have clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. The 5 human drivers. No, excuse me. The 5 high performance habits. And when you look at this, and I got to bring this up because I just said it. Hold on here. There are 4 human drivers: aliveness, connection, meaningful pursuit, and growth. This is what drives everything. It drives us. I have a separate videos, many of them, on the human drivers. I actually talk on that. But here's my point, is when you look at these: connection, meaningful pursuit, growth, you put those together, magical things happen. You live a life that's incredible. Now, I'm starting over. So what? I got the skills now built, applied to have a bright future. So you put together the 4 human drivers: aliveness, connection, meaningful purpose, and growth. You combine that with high performance habits: clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. Notice the one word that's common amongst these 3: influence. Not an influencer. I don't have to shout out you, but I want the world online for you to gain that influence. Because when I meet you in that grocery store, like we talked about earlier, and I go on a journey to find out more about you, give me something to consume. If you give me something to consume of you, I'm going to go on the journey. I'm going to continue. And when I get into that 150 people that I know, like, and trust, and you've penetrated that circle, I hear you. But until then, the brain just reflects because we got so much information. It just is constant. And if all this information keeps doubling and your brain keeps trying to consume all that, your brain will bust. That's why it filters out the majority of the noise. It only lets in what it knows, likes, and trusts, and it can for you. So let people go on a journey with you. Allow people to get to know you, like you, and trust you online. When you do that, you have what we call massive demand that that Daniel Priestley talks about. In high demand, controlled supply gives price tension. When price tension happens, most people will have unlimited supply and little demand, and that's a recipe for bankruptcy. So you want massive demand and controlled supply so you deliver the best you can of whatever you're doing. So people talk about you. When that happens and you got so many leads coming in, you create cash flow and you have a thriving community. We generate leads, create cash flow, and build thriving communities. That's what we do here. And if that's something you want, there's 3 levels. We have what we call our Shark Tank level, which I collaborate with you. We have kind of a win-win situation. Maybe you don't have the resources to invest in yourself, but you have an incredible opportunity in what you put together. Schedule a strategy session. I got to see. Think of me as Mr. Wonderful. Maybe not Mr. Wonderful. Think of me one of the Shark Tanks. I want to hear what you have, and that we can create a brighter future for you. But I don't know until you schedule a strategy session. The best option I have is a sweet spot, which is the silver plan. That is 2 high performance coaching a month, 1 hour on clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. And then mastery part of that. Mastery of mastery of physiology, psychology, persuasion, purpose, and productivity mastery. That is what we do. We coach 2 1-hour sessions and then 2 half-hour sessions on Daniel Priestley's content strategy, because we have to create your strategy online. Because if you're going to be an influencer online, you got to create the content for people to go on a journey with you. So that program is the best because we do it over 6 months and we help you transform your business so your influence online matches your influence locally. Think globally, act locally. Think globally, act locally. And we're winding down. And then the last one, is the goal. Here we go. Now we got it. The gold level, you have to earn $100,000 or $1 million in gross revenue. With that, it's weekly. It's a fast-paced AI speed. You have 10 hours a week of our AI-trained VAs in the Philippines, Trexa and Orlando. AI-trained. I've had Trexa and Orlando, Trexa for over 2 years, Orlando for over a year. Together, they're better. We kid around and say they're 2 peas in a pod, and it's the most powerful pod you'll ever to get to see. And it's not just VA, but we're teaching you how to combine Brenda Bouchard and Daniel Priestley to form the Elon Musk of your business. And the potential is unlimited. Get a strategy session. My gosh, the future is bright with the right strategy. So book a strategy session today and see a brighter future for you. So going back, combine Brenda Bouchard, High Performance Habits, with Daniel Priestley's Key Person of Influence. Understand the 7-11-4 formula for influence online, and you'll have the business that will be like the Elon Musk, and you'll have a brighter future. Because by having a brighter future, let me see, somebody did a thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, gosh, man, I got to meet you. Aroba Islam. Okay, reach out to me. Support at, if you want to get, anybody wants to get Growth Day. That was the first part of my 2-year journey because I had Brendan coaching me and has been coaching me every day for 2 years. But anyway, reach out to me as support. If you want me to come speak to your organization, you want me to speak on the 4 human drivers or the 5 high performance habits or the transformation that's happening from local to global, I have 20-minute talks that I'll come and speak to your organization. If you're interested in that, go to support at crazy thumbs up, and I love it. Thank you so much for that. And I think, no, I don't. I know there's a way you can leave comments on here. But anyway, thank you so much. Let me get this off the screen. The future is bright. with you activating your career, your journey. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Take advantage of our $300 digital high performance habits course. Go to pkane.me/connect. Use the word gift, and you'll be on your way to a brighter future. So, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Labor Day.